Good afternoon and welcome to our regular council meeting for February 3rd, 2025 at 4:30 here. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional territories and the oral practices of the Blackfoot Nation, which include the Siksika, the Kainai, and the Piikani. We also acknowledge the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, the Métis Nation District 4, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. We're making this acknowledgement to demonstrate our continuing efforts to work together as we strive for reconciliation through increased and collective learning. Moved by Councillor Nesbitt that the agenda be adopted. All those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that the minutes from the regular council meeting held January 20th, 2025 be approved. Councillor Jessica. All those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that the following items of correspondence be received as information updates on council conferences and or workshops. Council committee reports from Councillor Goodenough. And we'll start off with, I need a mover on that motion there. Councillor Wardrop. Yeah. We'll start off with the council committee reports. Councillor Goodenough.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've got a few things I want to report on. I'll talk about joint services. I'm going to talk about Silver Sage, community futures, and tourism. And so I'm going to hit those ones today. Joint services, the Brooks Newell region has been working with their beautification program. So just some updates I wanted to give on this. The committee has contributed over, since 2020, $60,000. And part of this program is funded through the Community Futures programs that I'm also a part of with Entrecourt. One of the things is that has been reported back to us that a lot of the people haven't been applying for the loans in the last little while. There's been a decline. So I think just getting more awareness out there that there's beautification loans for businesses in our community. They can get up to a $10,000 interest or loan, which is $8,000 interest free and a $2,000 grant for beautification. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is it's important that, I think Mayor Petrie, you've talked about this, that we can look so good on the outside, but you got to look good in the inside too, or you have to look so good in the inside and make your presentation outside. And our signs, we need to look good. And I think that just draws people into your business. And so that's an important aspect for our local businesses to use that. We're also working on our terms of reference within the community and the County of Newell and our other areas. And so we're going to continue to work on that. And what does that mean? Well, we're going to be having discussions on our relations, terms of reference for joint services and with economic development, who should be voting and who shouldn't be voting, contributing to conversations. And I think we're really where we're at it as joint services, and maybe Councillor Dries will talk about this and Mayor Petrie yourself, but I feel like we're at a point in our committee where we're growing and we're learning, and with different councils at different times, you have different views. And so as we work together, it's always good to learn and grow from each other and see how we can work together to be stronger for our whole region. I want to talk about Silver Sage, just a touch base. So just one additional note with joint services. We're always working on doctor retention, as we understand that. I had the opportunity today to tour around a potential doctor, and while touring him around, he mentioned this comment that stuck out to me. He said, the internet does not do our city justice. He was so impressed with our city, even at -28, he said. So he was so impressed with the diversity, with what we had to offer. I showcased our small businesses, took him to a few of them, just to say that we are a city, but with great small businesses, and he was so impressed by that. We saw the sports facilities, some of our future projects, whether it's commercial and housing, and he was quite excited by that. And to be a part of a city like Brooks could be something for the future for him. So that was a positive thing. Silver Sage, I want to talk about that. Silver Sage had their AGM, which was held on Tuesday, January the 14th at the Heritage. We also celebrated our 50th anniversary as an egg society. It's hard to believe it's 50 years old. It was originally named the Eastern Irrigation Egg Society, but it's been changed since 1997 to the Silver Sage Egg Society. I wanted to highlight a few things from that meeting. We have, which is always a great community builder, the Newell Pro Rodeo, which brings in hundreds, if not thousands, of people from around the area to participate in the rodeo and the Midway. But also this year we did the New Year's Eve event, which was a sellout event, which was absolutely amazing. Great band, and building those type of community things are always important for us. Not only do we in our facility, but we also hosted 2 major funerals there this year. So it's just not about rodeos, but we do a lot of community events there. And just to mention some of those, we host the Chinook Rodeo finals, college final rodeos, wild horse finals, high school finals, Heart for the Horse events, family fun buckle series, barrel racing, team roping, therapeutic riding for those with special needs. So many events and so many private events that also take place. So it's an important society that we have, and I look forward to always continue to work on that one. I wanted to mention also, just with Community Futures, EntreCorp, that the purpose of it, it's more of a policy, procedure, and a financial board, but what the goal of it is to help entrepreneurs and small businesses throughout the region of Southern Alberta. One of the things that we're excited about through the Apex Regional Innovations Network, Tracy Stroud, who runs that, reported back to us that the Newell County Corpse Diversification Center, which is CDC to us, they've hired a new manager or coordinator for the center, and we look forward to good things about that. I understand. I know it's in the county, but there will be direct benefits for the city in the years to come. And so part of the Community Futures Corp, we see good benefits in all around. Lastly, I'm going to mention is tourism. And, the motto for it is better explored. And we are right now working on a strategic plan for the next 4 to 5 years that's going to shape, I don't just believe Brooks, but Southern Alberta and the way tourism is done. We are working on what we're calling agritourism. And I know we grow up with everything in our back door, and we don't necessarily always think, what do we have to offer? But believe it or not, the world has not seen farms. Some people, you can go into bigger centers and they don't know where their eggs and milk come from. Well, there's an opportunity for us to showcase that. The cattle industry, the dinosaur, Terrell, or not the Terrell Museum, but Dinosaur Park. So we have so much to offer, from farms to ranches to local markets to our historical sites, and we are poised to become a dynamic destination. And I'm excited that we're working on the strategic plan for the next 4 years, and I think we're going to bring the world to our corner here. Lastly, I guess this is really the last one, honestly. MPC, we continue to meet, and those meetings are always excited with the development that's happening. We're excited that we're able to work together with Brooks Housing Society on the proposed development that's going to consist of 3 townhouse buildings comprised of 20 separate dwelling units, and these dwelling units that are proposed are a combination of 4 bedrooms and 3-bedroom, 2-story units with lots of parking, over 31 off-street parking sites. And so that just goes to show that the commitment that we have in the city to work with societies, to work with groups, to make our city better. And that's my report for today.
Okay, just Silver Sage, I think we underestimate the economic impact they have in our area here too. And they're in the county, we consider them as Brooks, but it's the Brooks benefits, the hotels, the restaurants, service stations that sort of benefit from that too. And we also get the exposure because they're bringing people in, from all over Western Canada on that too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. The other thing you talked about agritourism there, and I always tell interesting story. A couple interest. My brother was a teacher, had some exchange students from Japan, but they come over here and they see the canola fields. and they're just in awe of them. I mean, we take them for granted because we travel, but they've never seen anything like that. And the other thing a lot of foreigners have never seen is our open spaces. That they look at our ditches and don't know why there's no crops grown in the ditches. But just interesting things that we take for granted, but tourism there. And I know Councillor Idris has really pushed the Rotary conference there. And as we talk about that, there's going to be 25,000 people at that Rotary conference. If we could get, 3,000 or 4,000 this way instead of them going to Banff or to Jasper or to Kananaskis, that would be good. Or they can go there, but make sure they come this way here too. On that too. So, any other questions for Councillor Wardrop?
Thanks. Just going back to your joint services report, the beautification loans that are available.
Yes.
So what are the? Is that sorry? I might have missed it. Is it through joint services or it's another organization?
Yeah, so they would apply through Community Futures.
Oh, Community Futures.
I believe I'm right on that one. Yeah, okay. Sorry, look to the boss, Director Tiffin on that. But yeah, it's through Community Futures. You can go online through Entrecour, through Community Futures, and there's an application process there. It's an $8,000 loan at this current time, which is interest-free, and $2,000 is forgivable. So it's a $10,000 total, but $2,000 of that is forgivable,
Okay.
and $8,000 is interest-free.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity for anyone that just wants to beautify their buildings, their businesses, and just make it sparkle.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor. Good enough there. Councillor Jessica.
Thank you, Mayor. This is on conferences and workshops category, and just a couple of small things that I've been involved with. So Mayor Peachy and I met with Reddy's Members Tag Action Group, which was newly formed, and their mandate is to be more proactive in working in support of making the community more accessible and responsive to those facing challenges in their daily lives. So we were asked to provide some insight into how to properly conduct meetings, so I don't know if they asked the right people, but we did the best we could with what we got. And they also, about the decision-making process and the role of the chair. So some fairly basic stuff, but it branched off from there into discussion of some of their planned initiatives, and I think we can look forward to some very positive results from their advocacy. So that was very interesting. And then the ongoing saga of EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. The Recycling Council of Alberta hosted another workshop on the developing EPR program. And every one of these meetings has brought more details of understanding of if and how Newell Recycling in our communities could and should participate. So there have finally been some direct communications between Newell Recycling and the PROs, the Producer Responsibility Organizations, specifically the one organization that's dealing with the paper products and one that's dealing with household chemicals. So we have a meeting with chemicals people again tomorrow morning, and trying to put together how it will work out for the rural collection, the municipal collection, what kind of revenues are involved, and I guess at the end of the day whether we do want to belong to it or not. And one of the flies in the ointments is that so much of the cardboard that Newell Recycling collects is commercial. So commercial cardboard, even though I would suspect that a lot of it does generate revenue through the collection of the recycling fee, it's not included into that. So that's one of the factors we have to consider with Newell Recycling. But the deadline is the beginning of April, so everything has to be in place for that.
Okay, any questions for Councillor Jessica? Okay, to the motion. All those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that February 13th, 2025 be hereby proclaimed as Wear Red Canada Day in the City of Brooks. Making the motion, Councillor Goodenough. And I believe it's Deputy CEO Amanda Peterson. There you are.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mayor Petrie and Council. In November, you received a letter requesting to proclaim February 13th, 2025 as Red Wear Canada Day. And this comes from the Canadian Women's Heart Health Centre and the Canadian Women's Heart Health Alliance. Wear Red Canada Day is aimed towards spreading awareness about female heart health, which is an overlooked and undertreated issue affecting Canadian women each year. This initiative will involve an awareness campaign through a 2 to 3 minute pre-recorded video message to the residents of the city of Brooks regarding Wear Red Canada Day, with the ultimate goal of improving Canadian women of all ages' heart health. There's a couple of options that council can choose from. Option 1 is that council can proclaim February 13th, 2025 as that day in the city of Brooks. And option 2 is to recommend that council proclaim February 13th, 2025 as Wear Red Canada Day in the city of Brooks, and then participate in that 2 to 3 minute pre-recorded awareness video message to the residents of the city of Brooks regarding that day. There are no financial implications to the city of Brooks, and there is no link to council's strategic focus areas. Therefore, administration is recommending that council approve option 1, proclaiming February 13th, 2025 as Wear Red Canada Day in the city of Brooks.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Councillor Jessica.
Thank you. Just on this video message, I imagine it would be on the web. So how would people be directed to it or access it? Do you know?
Sure. So if the video message is something that council would like to consider, we'll work with our communications officer, Jordan, through putting that video together. And then what we can do is we can stream that on all of our social media pages. We can put it on YouTube. We can make sure that that is definitely put on our website as well to get the word out as relates to women's heart health.
Okay, good, thank you. Councillor Wardrop.
I like option 2. It'd be nice to have that on the website. So I would move that we go with option 2 if my fellow councillors are amenable.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah. Councillor Goodenough? Yeah.
Unless I'm missing some, like unless it will be it's overly
intensive.
Yeah,
Is that what
or
you're
yeah. I guess I'm curious why the option 2 is not recommended, because it would be a good awareness piece for the community.
Sure. Through the chair to Councillor Wardrop. The reason for the option 1 that was chosen is last year there was also an option to do the 2 to 3 minute video, but unfortunately that was not something that was recommended and never brought forward, and it wasn't done. So option 1 was brought forward this year. However, if you wish to make that motion, definitely could do so.
Yeah, the motion here that we have is that just February 13th is proclaimed as Wear Red Canada Day. So we're just on the motion though, but as part of that, we can direct staff to,
We can just do this, the recommended proclaim that one right there.
okay, yeah.
Just read. Option 2.
Yeah, okay, and then, as part of option 2, recommend that council proclaim February 13th, 2025 as Wear Red Canada Day in the city of Brooks, and participate in a 2 to 3 minute pre-recorded awareness video message to residents of the city of Brooks regarding the Wear Red Canada Day. Now, all those, any other questions on that? Do you want to? No. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Councillor Idris.
I was just going to ask the same question. Why are we not going with option 2? So I'm happy that was done.
Okay, to the motion then. All those in favor? Councillor Goodenough made the motion, yeah. Okay. I need a mover for this motion here, that a letter be sent to Alberta Municipal Affairs requesting a legislative compliance check. I need a mover for that motion. Councillor Nesbitt. CEO Parker.
Thank you very much, Your Worship and Council. We have discussed this general environment, and basically what we're looking at is just requesting the municipal affairs to come on in and do a legislative compliance check. With this check, it's because we are reviewing quite a few of our documents. We're concerned, we want to make sure that our resources are going in the right direction, and when they come on in, they can help us in this area and say, this is where you should be focusing on in your legislation. So,
Any questions? To the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, need a mover for this motion here that council approve of applying for the Alberta Municipal Affairs Collaborative Governance Initiative Grant in the amount of $50,000, and that a letter be sent requesting that the city's matching contribution be waived. I need a mover on that motion, Councilor Jessica. CEO Parker.
Thank you very much, Your Worship and Council. This also is, this grant helps basically to help build up internal capacity, especially in the area of training and our management. So that's why we've recommended to come on out and put our names forward to try and get this grant. At this current time, it's undersubscribed, and so I've been informed that we'd have a good chance of getting this grant.
Okay, any questions? To the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that policy L001-006 entitled Proclamations be approved. A mover for that motion, Councilor Wardrop. Okay, Manager of Administration, Romans.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mayor and Council. Administration has drafted the proclamations policy to provide a standard for proclamation requests received by the city. This policy was presented to Council Committee and would streamline the process for proclamations, as the ones noted in Schedule A are not required to be presented to Council each year. Proclamations that are received each year and request a flag or a banner to be raised will still be presented to Council for discussion. And I just wanted to note that the three mentioned at Council Committee that we had missed have been added to this policy, and the recommendation is that the policy be approved.
Okay, any questions? Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that council rescind policy F001-007A entitled Employee Computer Equipment Purchases, policy L0010-009A entitled Council Orientation Information, and policy L001-010 entitled Corporate Guidelines. A mover for that motion, Councilor Goodenough. Manager of Administration, Romans.
Thank you again. Through the chair to Mayor and Council. The senior management team has reviewed the policies noted in the motion and are recommending that the policies be rescinded. The employee computer equipment purchases policy does not align with regulations outlined with by the Canadian Revenue Agency and the MGA. Therefore, we will discontinue the program effective immediately. The council orientation information policy is not required, as the MGA outlines the topics that must be reviewed with and provided to council, as well as the timelines to do so. And the corporate guidelines policy was also determined not to be required. The role of the mayor, councillors, and confidentiality are in the MGA as well as our procedural bylaw. And the board, committee, and commission guidelines are either no longer our current practice or they are outlined in the respective bylaws. Therefore, administration is recommending that the policies be rescinded.
Okay, any questions? Councilor Wardrop?
Thank you. Just one question about the council orientation policy. Are there any items or practices that the policy has that isn't in the MGA that aren't redundant?
Through the chair to Councillor Wardrop, the policy was maybe a little bit more specific with policies and certain planning plans, but we can still provide that information. It just doesn't restrict us to only providing that information listed in that policy. As long as we meet what's in the MGA, we're obviously meeting what's required.
Thank you.
Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that bylaw number 2508, being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw 1412, being a land use bylaw, be introduced and read a first time. A mover for that motion, Councillor Nesbitt. And is Gavin on the line for this one? Oh, yeah, he is, yeah. Okay. Senior Planner Gavin. Go ahead, Gavin.
Through the chair to mayor and council, bylaw 2508 proposes to redesignate Lot 1, Block 1, Plan 95-12251. This is located at 716 2nd Street East, from residential single detached to residential medium density. As per the requirements of the Municipal Government Act, a public hearing must be held prior to council's decision on a bylaw to rezone land. This 0.3836 acre parcel, residentially designated property, sits at the south side of the intersection of 2nd Street and Killington Close East. It contains a 1940s era house, which is approximately 960 square feet in size. The property has an alley, which makes it accessible on 3 sides. The adjacent neighborhood is predominantly single detached residential with some 2-unit attached housing located at Ludor Close East. The neighborhood also contains approximately 100 meters to the south on 2nd Street East, the Willowbrook property, which is a high density development. This location is within walking distance from a school, shopping, and parks and oak green space. These amenities make for good long-term success on multi-unit residential projects. The lot is located within the Northeast Sector Area Structure Plan. The focus of that plan is on undeveloped lands and does not address redevelopment or infill of existing lots. The proposed rezoning complies with the following residential development objectives of the Municipal Development Plan. A mix of housing densities and tenure is encouraged in new residential developments in order that a variety of housing choices are available. New developments should complement and connect with the existing built-up areas of the city. Infill development should be sensitive to the design orientation and massing of surrounding dwellings. Opportunities for infill development should be utilized to revitalize existing neighborhoods. The residential medium density district is designated or designed to accommodate up to 4 dwelling units as a permitted use and up to 8 dwelling units as a discretionary use. The decision of the proposed rezoning should be evaluated based on the suitability of land. A policy for a mixture of housing needs to be measured against the reality of an area that has thus far been single unit development. Financial implications, there are none for the city of Brooks for this redesignation. Under strategic plan, this change is loosely connected to council's focus on economic growth, affordable housing, and investment attraction, as well as future developments. The recommendation this evening is that council completes first reading on bylaw 2508 and sets February 18th, 2025 for the public hearing.
Thank you, Gavin. Since this is the first reading, we can just ask for a clarification. Any clarification or any questions on this one? No. Okay, to the motion then. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, need a mover for this motion here that a public hearing be held on February 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m. to gather public input regarding bylaw 2508. I need a mover for that motion, Councillor Jessica. I think I had too many tequilas last week. I'm losing my voice here. Okay, to the motion. All those in favor? Carried. I need a mover for this motion here, the bylaw number 2501 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to provide standards and regulations for outdoor portable advertising be introduced and read first time. Mover for that motion, Councillor Wardrop. And this is Administration Romans.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council. During the January 28th council committee meeting, this bylaw was presented to council. The bylaw was amended to include election candidate advertising, restrict the locations to private property, and allow a maximum of 2 portable signs per parcel. A subsection has also been added that states election candidate advertising cannot be displayed more than 60 days before the election, which is in line with restrictions in the land use bylaw. The portable sign permit fee has been increased from $80 per year to $160 per year. And the portable sign permit fees for not-for-profit organizations have now been removed as directed by Council Committee. And administration is recommending that the bylaw receive 3 readings and be adopted.
Okay, any questions? Well, this is the first reading here, okay. To the motion then, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, I need a mover for the bylaw, now that bylaw number 2501 be read a second time. Councillor Jessica. Okay, any questions on the bylaw? I see none. All those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that bylaw number 2501 be given 3 readings at this meeting. It has to be carried unanimously. I think on the screen there, if we see their hands there, I think, yeah, there's, yeah. And then Bill's too, whatever, everybody else, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. Okay, need a mover for this motion here, that bylaw number 2501 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to provide standards and regulations for outdoor portable advertising be read a third time and adopted. Mover for that motion. Councillor Nesbitt. Okay, all those in favor? Carried. Okay. Need a mover for this motion here that bylaw number 2503 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw 2112 being a bylaw for the regulation and control of cemeteries be introduced and read a first time. Mover for that motion, Councillor Wardrop. All those in favor? Carried. I need a mover for this motion here, that bylaw number 2503 be read a second time. Mover for that motion? Councillor Jessica. Okay, any questions on, go ahead there, yeah.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council. The current columbarium located within the cemetery was purchased privately by a local funeral home and it is now sold out. The city recently purchased a columbarium as there have been requests from the community to have an additional one. The consultants that drafted the cemetery master plan will be bringing forward a full rewrite of the cemetery bylaw this year. However, in order to sell the niches in the columbarium right now, the bylaw has to be updated. So the recommendation is that the bylaw receive 3 readings and be adopted.
Okay, any questions? I see none. So to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here, that bylaw number 2503 be given 3 readings at this meeting. Councillor Wardrop. Okay, this has to be carried unanimously, and again online there too. All those in favor, I see the hands up. Carried unanimously. Passed. Need a mover for this motion here, that bylaw number 2503 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw number 2112 being a bylaw for the regulation and control of cemeteries be read a third time and adopted. Mover for that motion, Councillor Jessica. All in favor? Carried. Okay, we need a mover for this motion here, that council close the meeting to the public for agenda item 9A, land matter, as per section 16 of FOIP at 5:04 p.m. Mover for that motion, Councillor Wardrop. All those in favor? Carried. Okay. Thank you, everybody.